Hello, everybody, and welcome to something different to add to the channel. It's not really gaming related, but Will and Kevin, we are putting the Supernatural list in order. This is season 1 of each picture represents one of the episodes in season 1, and we are rating them as if we liked it, as to or disliked it, and then that's how it's gonna work. And I'm gonna let Will take over from here because this is his idea, and let's get into it. So, how does this work, Will? S is the best, and D is like the worst?
So yeah. Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Alright.
Alright, so the pilot, guys. This is where it all starts. This is where we get to see Sam and Dean for the first time into their lives.
So, I
What
would
do we-
vote as an S for me, because that was a good episode, the way they entered and how they literally solved a case at the very beginning, and yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. For all significance, like to introduce all the characters, how important the episode is. It has to be high up. My only thing I would have to throw in, just to play some devil's advocate, some Lucifer's advocate, is that like they had some rules in there, right? They dealt with like the that what was it, the woman in white, and they the way that that ghosts died, they set a precedent that they never repeated again.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like they made that very different, and it was like they set up some rules that they only have for that one episode, and the rest of it they were just like, no, fuck it, we're changing that. So,
right, exactly.
But
because
still, I would absolutely say high up there, S or A.
Yeah, I would say too. I would agree with Ben. I believe it's an S tier just because it introduces us to something completely new.
Oh yeah,
Something we haven't really seen yet. So
Yeah,
I think we're good.
And like as far as like how significant it is for the story, you cannot bring down the first episode, right?
Exactly.
That one's that's top of the absolutely.
And I'd also say for the believers and the non-believers out there, of the believers, there's supposedly a background story of there's a woman in white that you will see, and it's like at every haunted place that you would ever go to, there's always a woman in white. I don't know why it happens, but it happens. There's always a woman in white. And for the non-believers, wait till you see it, and then you can start believing.
All right, on to episode 2, the Wendigo. This is the one where Sam and Dean pose as park rangers to help this sister search down her sibling.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I gotta say, it was fucking iconic to me.
Right.
I love that episode. Even if like it's you think of other monster movies and monster shows, I think the way they did this and how unique it was, and they never repeated it. They never revisited
they don't.
the Wendigo idea.
No, and I think
this idea is so fucking it's.
See, Wendigo is like one of my favorite type things too. So like I might be a little bit biased here, but
Wendigo's the story behind it.
Oh, badass! Like seriously.
Man, I'm thinking A or S rank, honestly.
Right, no, I am too. What about you, Ben? What about you, Ben? What do you think about the Wendigo?
I'd say either a B or an A for me. The Wendigo it wasn't what I was expecting it to be, because all these different games that we play, their I don't know, reminiscent or how they see it, their design of Wendigos are all the same. Even in books, they literally come out looking the same in the video games, but in here, it just looked like it was just an old guy that went crazy in the woods. Looked like a shaved Bigfoot.
I mean, sure, but they give you like the scares. You got the horror feel. It really like
yeah. So I'd go more towards A then.
This Wendigo that they showed, it showed if you ever played that horror game. Oh god, what is it? Where they're in the snow, in the cabin. People, depending on the choices you make, people start dying. And
Until Dawn.
Until Dawn. Thank you. That is the Wendigos they have in Until Dawn in this Supernatural. So
man, that's worth going through. If that's on PC, that's something that
I don't think I've ever played that game, so that would be kind of worth it to me.
That was really good.
Is it a single player?
It was the first series I saw by Markiplier. It was really good.
Is it multiplayer?
No, it's one of those things where we'd be making choices. Like basically, shit plays out in front of you, and we just decide what to do.
Yeah.
All right. Eat Kevin's foot to survive. Done.
The ones after that are multiplayer, and they are on PC, which I love.
Wait, there's a second Until Dawn?
Well, it's completely different. It's an anthology series, and it's on Steam. I have it, and then the other one's actually in my it's in my wish list.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Now I realize how off topic we're. Okay. Back to this though. I think we generally agree at absolutely an A, at least.
Yeah,
if not.
At least.
So
okay. We'll throw it in an A.
We'll throw it in an A. We got to be. Right. I know there's gonna be a lot of like high praise because I fucking love the show. But so we gotta restrain ourselves. Gotta restrain ourselves.
Right.
Episode 3, which is the
Dead in the Water.
Dead in the Water. I'd go A. That was an excellent.
Yeah, where drowns most people.
Vengeful Spirit.
For me, that episode was the peak of like their emotional significance in episodes. Like when they really like treat like, dude, people are fucking dying. This is like tragic for the families experience it. Like I don't think they ever topped how they handled it in this episode. Like otherwise, of course, they always handle death as like, you know, tragedy. Oh, well, until the later seasons. Later seasons, like, oh, someone died, fuck them. But like, you know, early on, yeah, there was. I think that this was like the peak of it, where they really made it feel like a real thing that was actually happening. They made the characters feel real. They made like their relationships feel like sincere and honest. Like that was, it's good shit.
All right, so I'm thinking A.
Let's do it.
It's fine.
All right, episode 4, The Phantom Traveler.
Oh, that one kind of wasn't a favorite to me. I didn't, because I don't like flying anyways. So that was just yeah.
And I will be honest, if we're opening with Devil's Advocate, I will say their depiction of demons in this one episode is completely different than the demons in the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the entire series, like their demons are consistent in every episode except for this one, where all of a sudden it's like, you know, the mist that comes in is so different, like it, like kind of meanders in and kind of wasps around, and then you can kind of see it and be like, wait, what the hell is that? Oh, interesting. Oh, this is strange. And then like, you know, experiment with it almost, and then it takes over, and then it's like that versus later where it's like almost instantaneous possession, and it's like, and then it's much scarier, much like higher stakes, better later. It's
so I don't think it's deserving of A tier. I'm thinking more along the B tier for this one.
I'm good with that. Mid range, you know.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, yeah, mid range. It's not a terrible episode.
B or C is fine with me. It wasn't.
Now Bloody Mary.
Now that one's a fucking good one.
This is a good one. Like I remember when I was little, right? Like you always hear the stories about you never see Bloody Mary in the mirror 3 times, the lights off. Like, dude, you know, I'd always, even when I was a little kid, I'd always be like, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody, and I'd fucking run out.
Yeah, dude, that's funny you mentioned that, because when I saw this when it was new, and I was still, I don't know how old I was. I think this show came out in 2004. I was like, I forget how old I was. I could probably do the math, but I'm too lazy, and I've been drinking. But, dude,
full disclosure.
After that, after that episode, like, that fucking night, I was so scared I couldn't go to sleep. Like I was avoiding every reflective surface. I thought like she'd be coming for me. Like, oh my god, that gave me like actual scares afterwards. Like almost equivalent to Dawn of the Dead, which I'm sure nobody who's watching this knows. But that's like at the time that came out, and when I saw it, how old I was, I hailed that as one of the scariest movies I've seen. But this episode, it was like similar to that, and that was for a horror show. I guess this began as a horror,
supernatural,
then it turned into like drama and stuff. But at the time of this, absolutely, that they accomplished their objective 100%. The story was great. The significance, S for me. I mean, that's my vote.
Yeah, I would agree with Kevin with this one for an S on Bloody Mary.
Yes,
it's
absolutely
so iconic, and it's just like the history behind Bloody Mary too.
That's a real
legend,
but not like a real story, a real like urban legend. Like fuck. Those ones hit home.
I don't want to give you any spoilers, Kevin, on Nancy Drew, because I know you consider watching it. But if I remember correctly, I think there's an episode of Bloody Mary and Nancy Drew.
Cool.
Yeah, that she comes across. Pretty cool.
All right. This one was a little interesting to me. I don't.
Sorry. Remind me. What was this picture? This was Skin.
This is Skin.
Okay.
This one I didn't care much for. I mean, it was something new, for Shapeshifter. But I feel like they could have done a lot more stuff with the shapeshifter than what they actually did.
I was a little disappointed that when they had their cold open with like that torture scene, and then you saw a big twist that it was Dean. I was like, really thrown for a loop at first. Like, oh fuck, because you know, prior to knowing about a shapeshifter, I'm thinking like, oh fuck, this is like our Dean. And you know, and I'm thinking like in this picture right here, the one with like the cop shining a light on him, that we know now that wasn't actually Dean, but at the time I'm like, what? And I don't know. It had a bad start, I guess, in my mouth, but
no, I agree with you. I don't think it's an A tier. I think it's below A. Just
I would agree.
They could have done so much more with the shapeshifter, and then again, the shapeshifter they don't bring them back like as often as they should. You know, like what do they do? Bring it back like one more time?
I would say the utility of them could have been improved a lot more if they didn't like have to rip off their skin and stuff. Like make it like if they leave like so much behind, that makes it like you kind of that limits your ability to use.
Gross.
Yeah.
Right. It's like how a snake sheds its skin.
Yeah, well, I think that's what they're going for, but yeah. So, and if we are considering all things in here, actually, I was gonna say B and C, somewhere in that area. What do you think of Ben?
I'd go B, just on the safe side, because it wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
but,
I agree. Yeah. Like, this whole show is fucking awesome. I don't want to rate anything bad, but there are some...
Well, there was one episode that was pretty bad.
Yeah, in my mind, I already have one I'm going to say D, but we'll get there when I
think we all know, too.
Oh, I know which one it is.
Alright, well, we'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
This one, Hookman. I liked Hookman. Hookman was good.
Dude, Hookman was one of my
favorites. It was like Bloody Mary. It was a great background, true story.
Like, when I think of the first season, the most ones that like stand out to me in my head, there's the Bloody Mary episode, the Hookman episode, this one, and when we get to it, the Scarecrow episode. Those ones for me, they stand out so much that I fucking love. Like, again, for almost the same reasons as Bloody Mary, the uniqueness, the real urban legend side to it, the scares, the fucking everything. I'm calling it S. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm with you there, man. I'm with you there. It was such a good show, episode, and the way they presented it too.
Oh yeah. It's so oh my, that was like the height of Supernatural back at those. Oh man, fuck.
Right.
I hope you agree, Ben. I know you haven't.
Oh yeah, you don't have to ask me. I was already gonna say go S. That was a great episode. I'm good with that.
Love that.
I'm telling you, there is one episode that I'm not good with in this series.
Oh yeah, no, I think we all agree.
We all agree.
Right. It's coming up soon.
It very is. It's immediately going in the D section.
We're on episode 8, which is Bugs. Now, if you guys remember, this is the one where Sam and Dean, they're checking a mysterious report of the guy who opens a realtor, and they die by bugs. Like, was it syndicates that weren't native to that area? If I remember correctly,
yeah,
right?
It was. I don't want to say like ancient Indian burial ground or anything like that, but it was like something in the theme of like that the ground was hallowed and and it was like sacred and something like an ancient curse or something. I forget exactly.
Yeah, it was. It had like one of those like sacred wells in it that people would use for healing, and they were just building houses over the top of it. Yeah,
I gotta say, for me,
that good,
I wasn't a fan of the episode.
I was not either.
I guess several reasons.
The ending too was a little lackluster.
Yeah, and like when they're fighting off all like that swarm with like that improvised flamethrower, like no way that worked with all the bugs, but somehow it did.
Yeah,
and there's a bunch of shit like that. I do like though that this took place in a new establishment. Like they're actively building houses and everything's new.
Yes.
That never happens again for the series. I do like that, but for me it's not enough to like really recover. The setting isn't enough to recover what they're doing.
No, it's not. To me, I think this is our first C tier list.
Read my mind, Jesus, yeah.
Yep.
I think it's our first C tier.
What do you mean by like blacklister or whatever? What you said, Will? Does that mean like it was missing something?
Yeah, it was just missing something.
Yeah, it wasn't good. Yep.
Yeah, it could have been a lot better than what they did. It's just. They were just missing that inspiration, I guess. I don't know, like to keep going. I don't know. It was missing something.
I gotcha.
Anyways, next one, Home. This is when Sam is reliving his nightmares about their old home, and so him and Dean return to Kansas to investigate.
It's the poltergeist one.
Yes, and they discover that a new family has moved in to the Winchester's home. One is being the woman who kept dreaming about, and he's been trying to save. Because the ending. Wow, I did not expect that ending, to be honest.
I do I do like that they introduce both. Well, no, was it Missouri? Is that her name?
Missouri.
Yeah, that's her name.
Missouri.
Is it? Okay. I know it's a state.
Right.
Anyway, yeah. So she's a recurring character, so that's good to introduce her. And it's the first time we see. I mean, not to spoil the ending, but like you said, I don't know if you were trying to avoid spoiling it, but the first time we
spoilers
see, like, Mary
alert, obviously.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we are going to be analyzing all the episodes, so definite spoilers. And that was cool, but it was such a slow-paced episode for me that as much as the story significance was there, and absolutely, like, you could absolutely no question it was significant to the story. Entertainment value. I do love the the use of, like, that was the one where the fucking garbage disposal repair guy put his hand down trying to figure it out, and then that that everyone's nightmare. So I guess good on him for that. That was a good play there. But
I think another reason why this is actually another decent episode. It's the first time really anybody knows anything really about John.
Oh, that's right? He appears. That's right. He appears at the very end, or towards the end.
Towards the end. He like this. She knows something about John, and she's like because she knows John.
Yep.
And so this is the first time ever in the series, really, that they talk more about John, where he could possibly be and what he's doing.
Well, to be fair, they do experiment with that a bit. Like, I think Sam gets mad at Dean about wanting to investigate the Wendigo case, episode 2, because he's like, Dad's not out there. What are you doing?
The whole time is they're trying to follow his tracks, but they keep leading to dead ends. Right. This time, she actually knows something about John, and you're just like, oh shit, we might be able to see John soon.
And I gotta say, that was probably the first one where the Winchester, I guess they're all Winchester, the brothers, Sam and Dean, they actually decide to go to a place and then tell their dad, like, hey, we're going here, you should meet us here, rather than the other way around.
Right, exactly, yes.
But
so I'm thinking this is a B tier.
That's the highest I've rated, because how slow paced it was. I would have to dock it a lot of points.
Tier. Yeah, I don't think it's deserving A tier, but I do say at least with moving the story along, trying to find out where John is and getting some information, I feel like that deserves a B tier. Because that's what the whole season 1 is about, is them reconnecting with their father.
I'm all for it. Ship it.
Now, this next one. No, I'll do this next one because that home episode I was not a fan of it, so that's good for me.
All right.
This next one, though, The Asylum. This was probably one of my favorites, so it'd have to be in the A or the S rank for me.
I was gonna say A minimum. A minimum.
Yeah,
because you introduce the ghost facers to it, and then but you're also there. Yeah, they were in this one.
The ghost.
No, they weren't.
Was the Hell House.
All right. Well, then this is the one where they were investigating an asylum, right? It was a
and then the teenagers go in, and then they start getting attacked.
Yeah.
This was great though. The story they went to, the background, and like the history.
Oh yeah.
I fucking love this.
And you find that hidden wall, and then you're reading this information on the guy. You're like, holy shit.
And then the twist that like the ghosts are actually good, and they're all about like the doctor who's evil, and then he's
they're all trying to warn him about the doctor, and it's just crazy. So,
I love that.
I think minimum A tier. Minimum.
Absolutely.
It's way above B. B obviously. So what are we thinking, guys? Are we thinking another S tier, maybe?
Hey, I'm happy A or S, whatever you guys.
I'm voting S.
All right, I guess we can all agree on that.
S tier, all right. Hell yeah.
Now I think another S tier.
Scarecrow episode, yeah.
I think another S tier.
Oh, that's going S for me
again.
I mean, we really don't. And this is the first time we see Meg.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know who Meg is. We think, obviously we think like, oh shit, like new person to the storyline.
Right.
She introduces herself, so you're like, okay, she's gonna be seen a lot more often. And wow, and then the ending. Oh my god!
Yeah, that she's worked. Yeah. Where he just fucking slashes the dude's neck.
Oh my god! And you're just like, what the fuck?
Oh, that was good. Like, fantastic twist. Introduce a big character, someone who comes back, and the tension. the tension that that Sam and Dean are like on kind of separate paths with what they want out of this, and a kind of tension that maintains itself all the way up until and including season 5. That's big. Like holy shit, yeah. So when they split up, that's just like it did suck that we had some tension in the characters that we love, but like that really was that was a strong theme that would play a serious role later. Yeah. Like 100%. We see that first, introduce new characters, and of course I'm dancing around the real awesome of the show, which is the fucking Scarecrow. Dude, oh my God, the way they played it, the way they presented that was everything I want out of a horror movie.
The ending too was great because it just turns on the fucking people, and you're just like, yes. Yep. Yes.
Dude, that's absolute S tier. Again, this was one of the top 3 I think of when I think of the first season.
It also changes the way that I look at Scarecrows now, because first I've looked at them, some of them were okay. I mean, we saw the first one of the Scarecrows that were really happy and joyful in The Wizard of Oz, but now it's just like, really? They can be evil too? That's a bad idea, and some of them are really creepy too, the way they're designed.
Where I first thought Scarecrows could be evil is after Jeepers Creepers.
Yes! Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah. I was like, shit, Scarecrows could be evil. Okay, cool.
Jeepers Creepers. My God, that was a good one.
Oh, is that the guy that drives that big giant metal with like meat? Meat something on his.
Yep.
Oh no. What was his license plate? Was like it could mean a couple things. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, I forget.
Eat you, or I'll meet you, or something like that.
So it looks like beating you, but it's B, the letter B, eating you. B eating because he eats. Yeah, that was good. I like that. That was clever. Anyway. So anyway, yeah, okay. Frick, where we are now. Okay, this was the Faith healing one.
Alright, so Faith. This is the one where Dean gets electrocuted, and then Sam finds the quote unquote Faith healer, but reality, he's not a Faith healer.
The wife is conjuring like a Grim Reaper of some sort, or a Reaper that is stealing people's souls and bringing them to these other old people that are gonna die anyways eventually.
Yeah, stealing like healthy things from healthy people, and then trading it.
The thing is, I'm pretty sure now the older man was blind, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
And so he didn't know anything about what his wife was doing, but his wife knew everything. She was the one who was taking the lies from others and giving it to other people to make her husband seem like this all like amazing faith healer.
And he believed it too, so he totally wasn't in on that gig.
No, he wasn't. Because he thought about it too.
Yeah, he thought he actually had the gift.
I like what happened in the end. I like the free reap soul at the end.
Oh yes, very well just deserved.
I still quote a line that Sam said when they figured out what was going on. They're like, "Wait, you're trapping a Reaper and like using it for like, when it's finally free, and it will be free. It's like, that's gonna come after you." And they said, you're just gonna ride the whirlwind or whatever. I'm like, I still use that phrase every so often. Ride the whirlwind. Yeah,
so
good shit.
I'm thinking with this one, I'm thinking A tier.
A tier?
A tier.
Yeah, that was good. A-tier.
It was good, but I don't think it was perfect. But I still think it was good.
It was alright. So they had the cold open where they had that case with the the basement and the ghost. So they had all that before the electrocution, and then after the electrocution, it was like really slow up until they started to figure out something was going on. So like
exactly. That's one reason why I don't think it is S tier. It was a bit too slow for me.
Kind of in a similar vein to the home episode, which is why I'm leaning also towards B. But A is okay. I'll accept A. What are your thoughts, Ben?
For the Reaper, I was gonna go either A or B. So I'd go A, because it was somewhat decent.
She was cheating with death, pretty much.
She was dancing with death.
Too. I will admit that was a cool concept that you're swapping out like the healthy organs and healthy the health of someone healthy versus like someone who came for your healing and needs this thing.
Yes.
That was creative and unique, and they never brought that back. This was a unique ability to trap a Reaper and use them, and this was one unique episode that they never recycled. A lot of things get recycled in the show, but this wasn't.
She made that Reaper her bitch.
Right. That's basically what it was.
Ride the whirlwind.
All right.
And Route 666.
Route 6.
That is an S for me, because they literally went back and found out in the back of a history that there was a murder that took place, and they covered it up. And even though that they actually went and dug the truck out and burned the body, they still had to deal with the truck, and they still had to get rid of the spirit of the truck. So that's an S for me, just because of the history, how everything happened, and yeah, that's an S for me.
I do like that they have, like, you know, cultural, like, you know, real history into it, rather than just, like, you know.
Yeah.
Granted, this whole show is about supernatural, so we should think, like, okay, you know, urban legends and, like, you know, ghost stories and stuff.
Yes.
But this is, like, real history, which to me is sort of a good and bad thing, because it's almost like with the Bender episode, where it's like it's not really supernatural, it's sort of like, you know, real history.
Yes.
But that doesn't necessarily take away from it. It's I'm not big on cars, so when it was the car that was the the truck that was the ghost, that was weird that it set a precedent that cars and trucks can have ghosts.
Well, I mean, look at Christine.
Yeah, that's right, cool. Christine.
But it's almost like in a similar vein to, like, that ghost in the first episode when they kill it and then, like, it dies in that weird like animation way, you know, that they set a precedent that the rest of the show doesn't live up to. I can see where you're coming from there. Do vehicles not? I mean, should we be expecting now, anytime a vehicle gets wrecked or something like that, or the owner dies under some kind of, like, hateful circumstances, that the truck would come back or the car would come back? It was just interesting. I mean, I would definitely say it was good. It was definitely entertaining. Absolutely. Yeah. And I fucking love, like, that. Oh my god! Everything about, like, when they were trying to find it, like, they found the truck, they fucking burned the body, still didn't take care of it, and then it's chasing them down. You know, they have to go to where the church was. And then, like, Sam wasn't even sure about it. He's like, all right, now drive exactly this many miles past this marker and then just stop. And then it's like, and then it actually works and it takes care of it. Like, how'd you know? Like, well, I don't know, just kind of a guess.
I kind of a guess. Did it occur to you if I didn't survive?
What do you say? It was based on a hunch?
Yeah, right. Just a hunch. Yeah, it's like a hunch.
You risked, like, my life on a hunch.
Yep. And so that was awesome. So the entertainment value for what it was very good. Right. But yeah, I'd say story wise, I would say around an A. But of course, we can do whatever we want. Yeah, Will, you haven't put in your 2 cents.
No. I think I gotta agree with Kevin on this one. I think it's an A. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't the Scarecrow, you know, the asylum. It wasn't like that, you know. It's just, it reminded me a little bit too much, like I said, Christine, you know, a possessed killer car.
I still haven't seen that movie. I know what it's about, but
such a good movie.
It was a good movie.
Such fantastic movie. So I think this one is an A tier.
Okay.
Now this one, Nightmare.
Oh, this is the other psychic.
This is the other psychic who has telekinesis, and it's just, oof.
Oh, that was literally killing all of his family members because he was abused by his father. Yeah.
Yep. And his mother was neglecting, and she just let it happen. And the ending to this was something I did not expect. Like, I mean, as we can see in this picture, obviously he's using telekinesis. He's gonna shoot his mother with it. I'm pretty sure it wasn't Ned Dean's gun, so he has the fingerprints on that weapon.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about the fingerprints.
And then they locked Sam out of the room, and Dean was trying to stand in front of the mother, so he takes the bullet, and eventually the kid turns the gun on himself and just shoots himself.
Right. I didn't see that coming.
I did not see that coming. I thought because you saw him kind of like be like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't do this, and then all of a sudden, bam, he shoots himself.
I will say the oh shit moment that you get when, like, the first time that he was talking about, like, you know, when they were like, I think we knew that he had these powers, but, like, we didn't hear the story behind it. And then he's like, then my dad blamed me for my mother's death, but she was like pinned, like, she died in a house fire, pinned to the ceiling, and they were like, oh shit, like, wait, like, there's more than just Sam. It's a whole fucking thing going on. Right. And that's like that is a series wide, or at least at the time, I guess season wide, but we feel like series wide, like, twist.
It's like when the season hit a climax, you're like, oh shit, like there's more than just Sam.
Was this also the episode with the guy who could, like, control people, like control people's actions?
I think
just by, like, asking him.
Yeah, no, I think that was season 2.
That was season 2. Okay.
I think that was season 2 because I do remember that guy
Spoilers.
specifically, but I believe that was season 2. Well, we're gonna cover it anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, I'm putting it in my description below. There are spoilers in this, so.
Oh, of course.
I will say, if this is gonna be a thing, I'm willing to go up to and including season 5, but season 6,
Yes.
I'll feel bad for my comments about the show after that. But not that it's bad, just that like it's.
I feel like we can stop at season 5. I feel like we can stop at season 5. 'Cause season 5, it peaked at the very end, and you're just like, damn, that was the way to end the show.
Did
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Season 12 and season 13 were pretty good too.
They do get like their highs and
They
lows
get better.
for good,
Yeah.
but the first 5 seasons of Supernatural for me,
Oh, yeah.
I don't think any other show tops what they did.
I think Scooby Natural is just
damn.
the best episode ever.
True.
That's
Yeah.
what they did
All
with
right.
that.
Let's. Yeah, you don't know about that one, Will. That was
Yeah.
It was very, 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 very.
This
very good
time
did
they
with
even made T-shirts about it too.
No, I know what you're talking about. This episode, I've seen references and stuff from it.
that. Gotcha. Okay.
But
Yep.
I think this one.
At least
A
now,
tier.
yeah. I was gonna say not quite S. I can't pin
No, not
why.
quite S.
I don't know why it doesn't feel right. I can't name one about it. I don't like feel
Right.
as,
No, I
as
agree.
top
I
tier,
agree with
but
you.
it's something's missing. I don't know what.
Yes.
But I can tell you that A, I'm comfortable with A, not
I'm
comfortable
comfortable
with
with
S.
that. Right.
What do you think, Ben? What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, A would be okay. It's definitely not an S for me, so it would be A or B.
Yeah. All right. Do we even have to talk about this episode?
That's a D for me. That one completely sucked. There was nothing. There was nothing even supernatural about it. It was literally just a waste of time. Probably just to kill some time for the editors and everything to be able to do the next episode. So
The Hillbillies,
screw that
yeah.
episode. That was the worst one. Don't even bother watching it.
Hold on.
This is
hold
the
on.
automatic D I was thinking of. Yeah.
Hold on. No,
Are you making
we're gonna create a new one for this. Okay. This is gonna be like
F in chat, boys.
this one. This one was just
Atomic failure that they shouldn't have even did.
Oh man.
yeah, no. And the thing is too, if I'm not mistaken, the woman was after Ben Wyatt. The woman
It was
was after
Her son, right? Her
yeah,
son
she
went
was
missing.
trying to find her son because they kidnapped her son.
Black Ford Mustang. Found all the cars to all their people that were
Wait, was it her
kidnapped.
son or was it her brother? I think it was her brother.
It might have been her brother.
Yeah. So, anyways, then she was going with Dean because they kidnapped Sam, and they were trying to find. They were working together, and at the end, she's like, "I'll give you a head start," because he was wanted for quote unquote murder because of the shapeshifter. I think that was the only good thing.
I'll give you that. Yeah. Like otherwise, everything like random hillbillies who could overpower Sam and Dean. Like fuck that. We know them to be the super ultra badasses, and then here just random people who just because they know how to use guns and they kill people for fun, all of a sudden they can beat fucking. Yeah. Right. It's just fucking. There. And of course, the fact that there was nothing supernatural about this episode. And they kind of play it up to be supernatural, but really it was just that these people are uncannily capable, but then, also not. And it just, I don't know, thorough dislike for this episode. I always skip it when I rewatch the series.
I agree with you. All right, enough about this episode.
Right, enough about that
Let's
shit.
move on to the next, the shadows. Now, this is
That
the
was
one
the
where
shadows?
we first
Ooh.
see John. This is when John finally comes.
Hold on. Remember, in Home we do see him briefly.
But briefly. But this is when we first actually get to Sam and Dean first actually see John for who knows how long. And Sam, this has been building up. But Sam left right after high school for college, and he hasn't seen John in years. He hasn't had contact with him.
Dude, I love, at least in this, so story significance again. That is 110%. That is in there. That was what they've been looking for their dad the entire season. But what I love the most about this episode, and that is great, what I love most is the uniqueness of the monsters, the shadows. They're shadows that attack you, or at least your shadows, or whatever. Of course, we learn later that they're just invisible. You can only see their shadows. But even at least the way they present it, the way they did everything. Oh my god, that was prime new monster, new fucking awesome, new holy
Right.
shit levels of like what is. I did like that a lot. I'd say any like absolute A, possibly S, somewhere in that A
That
plus
category.
range. I don't know.
Right. What
But
about you,
that's me. That's me.
Ben?
It's fine if you disagree. This is all just an opinion piece. So
just opinion.
I'd probably go with a B then, because it wasn't really
sure.
just like Will said. It was missing something in a couple other episodes. There was like still some things that were missing. You guys can put it where you want to. I'm just saying I'd think it would be a B rank.
I'm thinking. Only reason why I'm thinking A and stuff is because, like Kevin said, this has been building up to finally, the boys are finally reconnecting with John, and then all of a sudden the shadow creatures Meg sends out, like she unleashes that. I'm just like, holy shit! Like, how are they possibly gonna fight these guys?
Yeah, so let's do it A or B. I'm okay
it was
with
all about to set a trap for their father.
That is true. Yep. All right.
Now this one, Hell House.
Oh, that was that was hilarious.
This is when we finally get to see Ghostfaces.
Ghostfaces. I like the pranking of this. Like that. Oh my god! If that pranking wasn't the. Part of me wanted that to continue through the series, but I wouldn't want it to be an actual theme through the show. But my god, it was so much fun. That was. This is where like the story, nothing, but the rest of it. There's no significance to like the overall plot. That's fine. What I liked about the early seasons of Supernatural was that they didn't have like it wasn't all story related like the later seasons. They had individual episodes. You could just pick one up. You don't need to know what was going on around the episode. You could just watch it and have fun. And this was a fun fucking episode.
It was, and the fact too is that they joke around with the Ghostfacers, like making them seem like, oh, they're cool and shit, especially at the end.
Right.
When they think they got a call and they go to Hollywood, and then Sam's like, yeah, no, that was me.
Yep. It's like, oh yeah, but I didn't leave. What was it? Someone left like some dead fish or something in their cars.
Oh yeah.
Because they each pranked the Ghostfaces, and then that's what they had their truce about.
Exactly.
But you know what I do like though, as far as the monster goes, and like what the episode's about, the Tulpa. That's what I mentioned earlier when we were talking about this briefly by each episode. Yeah. Man, I love the idea of the Tulpa. So that was a symbol. I think Ben, you were asking about it. That was a symbol that they wrote down where the thing they're hunting, this ghost, is really just something that was invented because people believe that it exists.
Yes, that's right.
And that was fucking brilliant. Like, I can't believe they never used that idea in the later at all. The rest of the series, they never used that. That was prime. You could do whatever you wanted. Like, people just believe that he was like an axe murderer, and all of a sudden he had an axe. There's people believe that he died by hanging, and now he's like, susceptible to this. Like, oh no, he was killed by iron bullets, so now he's weak to iron. But like everything, that was so freaking cool.
You can spread lies about it, and then once people start believing it, it ends up being true.
It's all people's belief, and it kind of filters something. If we do ever get to season 5, there was something else where like I think belief plays a heavy role in the existence of supernatural things, but that gets when we get down there. I have a big point about that. But as far as this, I just love that
they were super confused when the salt didn't work. They were like, what the fuck?
They had to like tell the Ghostfacers like, hey, do you know that like ghosts are repelled by salt? They can't cross salt. And it's like they had to like teach them about it because the people didn't believe it. And it's like, that's good shit.
I'm thinking A.
Wait, Ben, did you have any input in this episode? Because I don't know if you.
Nope, that was a good one.
The season once.
I like the pranking. The pranking was my favorite.
Yeah, and that made it fun. Yeah, this one's good. Absolutely, A. I agree with A.
All right. Ben.
Yeah, A is good.
All right. Now this one. This was Something Wicked. This is the one where what is it? The Strika.
Oh.
The one
that feeds on like kids when they're sleeping, right?
And this is the one where Dean has actually seen when he was younger.
Because it
That's
got to
That's
Sammy.
right.
That's why.
Yep.
Once again, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to straight out of the gate dock this some points because of how slow it is. Kind of like the last 2 times that I docked things because of how slow they were. But this one I do like. Again, this it comes back to story. We get to hear some history about Sam and Dean. We get to see how they were when they were growing up. That their dad wasn't always there. He left them alone a lot of time, and he had to. Dean had to take care of Sam a lot. And made him grow up pretty fast, as you would later comment.
Wake me up.
But yeah, I don't know, with how slow it is and how little actual monster action we get. I want to say around a B rank, but yeah, I would of course be open to.
I would say this belongs down with Bugs.
Okay.
I don't. Like I said, it was slow. I mean, yeah, it's cool that you get to see some background on their lives, but throughout the whole season, you've been told how their lives were. I didn't think we really necessarily needed to see that. We were told that from Sam's perspective, yeah, our dad was never around. Like, we've always had to change schools. Like, this is something it's something we've known all season. So seeing it, I didn't think we necessarily needed to see it, right?
That's a good point.
That's my perspective. I didn't think we needed to see it. I feel like it was just filler, and they could have done something more with that.
That probably explains why even that felt unfilling when I was watching it.
Exactly.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, it's almost implied by how they explain it and what of the context leading up to this episode that just showing us again, it's like it's almost nothing new, even if it is still something new. Yeah,
like we've heard Sam complain throughout the 17 episodes how John was just never there, how we've had to grow up and then we've had to hunt all our lives.
You've talked me into the C and a half or B range.
Yeah. So like I said, I don't think all that filler. We didn't need it. They could have done something else with the Striga and have it more effective.
And of course, Ben, feel free to pitch in if you got any. If you remember the episode.
I remember the episode. I would go with a C or a B for me.
So we're all good with C?
Yeah.
That works for me.
Yeah.
I get we need some lows to balance the highs,
Yeah, okay, so this one, honestly, I don't think I remember much about Providence. I know this is a spirit bound to the family portrait that brings misfortune and death to anyone.
I like this one. This one was so there was a portrait that really looked like the Addams family. Yeah, it was hanging in the house, and every night one of the spirits would be let loose to kill somebody in the house.
What you might remember, Will, is a person, so like the father, would disappear out of the painting, and then that would be usually they have the victim, they'd walk in, they'd see oh, hey, that's weird, and every time he'd be in different positions and doing different things, even though it's a painting, shouldn't be moving. Do you remember that? Does that
for some reason I can't remember. I'm looking.
He killed somebody with a knife, and I remember they looked at the painting, and the painting had the knife, and the knife had blood on it. It was pretty cool.
And then later on, there was a twist that it wasn't actually the father; it was the daughter that was killing him.
Yeah, it was the daughter.
Now I remember. Yes.
It was Wednesday that was killing him.
Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah.
Or no, is it the Addams family?
That's the Addams family, but I referred her to Wednesday because they looked like the Addams family. There was Pugsley and Wednesday, Morticia and Gomez, and Lurch, the big tall guy. That's what I referred them as. They looked exactly like the Addams family. It was some sort of they were probably trying to reference the Addams family. It's literally what it was.
I remember this now, yes, because the father was trying to kind of warn people about the daughter.
I will admit, I definitely don't blame you for not remembering this episode, because once again, I have to call this one a B or C range. It was low. There was the kills were fantastic, in that they apparently that one, there was a description of one death where someone got their throat slit so deep that part of their spinal cord was missing. Nasty shit. But overall, kind of unimpressive. Just how I feel about the episode. But of course,
I would think B, because wasn't this a hotel, if I remember correctly, or the lady who bought it with her son, right? They were trying to make it into a hotel.
Oh, I don't remember. I'm not sure.
I might be thinking of something else.
Talk more about that. Just I might be able to figure out what you're getting at.
Because I think it was a lady and her son. It was this big, huge like house. Like it was huge, right? And Sam and Dean, they knew something was going on with the house, so they pretended to be people from the moving company to help them, right? And so they can investigate as well. I feel like they were trying to open up to the public to have it like have people be able to stay there, you know?
Oh, I think that sounds so familiar.
Right?
You're probably right. I just don't remember.
Does it mean, or does that seem like that's what the episode was?
Well, if that was, I will admit that's fantastic motivation for our protagonist.
Right.
Like to have it so like, oh yeah, anytime you stay in this house with this painting, you know, one of the creatures comes out of it and fucking kills you, and then they're gonna be now like, oh yeah, we're gonna make this a public location where anyone can stay the night. So I like that as extra. I like that. Okay, that makes it a bit better. If that's what, for some reason I don't remember. That doesn't ring any bells. Anyway, sorry. I guess we're probably coming down to a rating though. What do you think would where it would land?
I think B.
B. All right.
I think A.
A?
Just because I like the fact that they reference the Addams Family, and having that idea of the spirits leaving the portrait, killing, and then being able to jump back into the portrait like nothing ever happened, other than the position change, is pretty good. Which means that they had to have had like 12 or 13 different portraits of the same thing.
That's true. We are we're not giving enough credit to like the cast in this, you know, like the kind of effort it would take to film these things. But that's true. I will also give you that the idea of something coming out of a painting and you know, coming back in, so like the paintings containing something that would do it, and the painting itself physically changing. That also was never used throughout the rest of the show.
No, it wasn't.
So that did make this unique in its own way. All right, I'll bump my vote up to a B. But yeah, I think. All right, fair enough. Yeah, there were some underrated parts of the episode.
Yeah. Based on what Ben said, I think I can agree with him. I mean, go
B.
A on this one.
In A,
Sure.
yeah, A is good.
A is good.
Yeah.
All right, now this was Dead Man's Blood. This was a good episode.
Oh, that's
Good
absolutely
vampires.
an S.
So-
you finally get to see some vampires.
Look, I fucking.
I don't
love
care about the vampires.
They were great. My favorite part of the episode though was the fucking cult, dude.
Oh yes.
Dude, the cult was introduced in this episode.
This is
Oh
what
yeah,
I
love that
you're
shit.
what I'm hearing is you're saying cult. I'm thinking of like a cult, like a group of devil
Well,
worshippers.
that too. I guess that too, but
Yeah.
But he's
no,
saying
don't
cult
cult.
like the gun, like the
gun.
one-shot kill gun.
they
The only
say this
thing
gun
that
can
can
kill
kill-
anything.
The only gun that can kill the yellow-eyed man.
Yeah, and where it was like up until here, they're like, "Oh, demons can't be killed. You can't do anything. You can only exercise them." And all of a sudden, like, "Hey, this fucking gun can kill anything. Like even a
And
demon."
there's
Like,
only a
oh
limited
shit!
amount of bullets.
Yeah, and of course they later go back on that, and people can like make them and shit. But you know, up at a point where they introduce it, the concept is fucking gold.
Right.
I love it.
Totally, 100%. This was an S tier episode.
Good shit.
All
I mean,
right.
any disagreements? I think.
Oh,
I think
no.
we're pretty much settled.
No.
Vampires suck. True statement.
quite literally.
Alright, so the next one, we're on to episode 21. We're almost done, guys. Episode 21, Salvation. This is when John
Unfortunately.
realizes. So this is where John realizes where the demons will strike next, and the Winchesters head there to stop the next killing. But Meg threatens to kill everyone, and John knows unless her demands are met.
And that's the thing. When you were describing it the first time, when we organized like the order of this into chronological order, I don't actually remember this one, so I probably can't pitch in. I can't picture it. I'm picturing one thing where like I think Meg was like killing a priest. Or I think it opened up with a priest was like
Yes.
saying like,
Meg kills John's friend in order to get the colt,
okay,
and then
Wait, she got
Sam
the colt?
in order to get it. And then
oh, in
Sam
order
and
to
Dean-
get, oh, gotcha. Oh,
Sam
this
Dean-
was where he ended up going to that warehouse to like pretend to make the deal, but then like he makes the like what the
He makes it look like the real cult, but it's not. It's just a decoy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. What with the water? Like he goes up, he like makes holy water out of like the rain system, not the rain system, the sprinkler
The
system.
drainage in the sprinkler system. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that was clever. I love that. I remember
Climbs
that
up the
scene,
water
but-
tower and throws a cross in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like says the words, makes it holy water, throws a cross in, and it's like, and then that's for his escape plan. That was clever. I don't remember the rest of the episode though.
The rest of the episode is where Spawn and Dean they go to stake out the Yellow-Eyed Demon's next target for a family with a 6-month-old baby.
Oh,
And
right.
who signed a special ability.
That's right. And then like the mother's all freaked out that like they're so interested in like trying to help them.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
okay, vaguely remember.
And that's when John goes to fight off Megalon with the sprinkler system, of course.
Yep. And she tests out the gun like to see if it's real on. No. The other person, her partner, tests out the gun on her. Like
Yeah.
you shot me. It's like, well, didn't work.
It didn't work.
You're still alive.
It wasn't the real gun. So I
That
think
had some memorable scenes, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Even if the whole thing, unfortunately, for some reason, I don't know how much I can pitch in on this, just because how little I remember. I think I remember the least of this episode of all the ones that we've covered, unfortunately. But not to say it's bad, not to say that it's so bad I don't remember any of it. But like, I just don't know if my my thoughts can weigh too heavily. Other than I fucking love that warehouse scene. That was prime.
That was so good. I feel like this isn't necessarily S, but I feel like it can belong in an A. Ben?
I'd go either, and yeah, I'd go A.
A? Alright. But I think we can go A.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Because it, like I said, it wasn't missing a few things, but it was still, the rest of it kind of made up for it. Alright guys, the final episode.
final one.
Episode 22, The Devil's Trap.
Dude.
This is when...
Where they
goes to-
introduced the trap as to be working.
Yes,
Yeah.
where Meg goes to John that her quote-unquote prisoner, the boys visit a friend of their father's to find ways out of a demon trap. But is Meg really what she appears? This is such an interesting episode. Like, I mean, what a way to end
Most importantly, though, of course, this scene that they have right here, that picture,
Mhm.
that was where the Yellow-Eyed Demon, Azazel, possessed
Yes.
John and was
Yes.
like, fuck it. That scene was that. Like when I think of the last episode, I think of that whole scene, and I know that's not the whole episode, but man, does that take it for me? Like,
Right.
you got the emotion for it, the acting, fucking hell, like him, like his own son getting his chest fucking ripped open, but like he could still keep like his emotionless eyes, like, yeah, no, you killed my boys, so this is what's coming to you.
Kevin, when did Meg turn good? Do you remember what season she turned good to like help
Never.
Castiel?
Spoilers,
Spoiler. Okay.
but
I thought it
I
was
don't know
season
about
5
good.
or
She
6.
was never
but-
really,
You should have never really get that.
but
Yeah,
So,
there
but
were times when like
she
I
helped.
think, yeah, like priorities aligned. People they had
She
the same
helped.
goals, but
She helped, but it was based off her own, it boosted her. Like, it helped her more than it helped everybody else.
right.
Because remember, her whole time, she was, spoiler, of course, she was encouraging Sam keep drinking blood so he gets more powerful, and eventually so he can kill.
No,
Was it?
that was Ruby.
That was Ruby.
Yeah, that was Ruby because it turned into his wife.
That's right.
They
Well,
brought
that was real life.
Guinevere in and everything. Yeah.
Well, okay, in real life, Jed Padalecki and I don't know her name, but the actress who played
Guinevere Padalecki. That's what her
Guinevere.
name
Oh yeah,
is.
of course, the last name would be Padalecki. Yeah, because they got married.
Yeah.
Guinevere Padalecki. Yeah, okay.
Still, Meg has never
And
been good.
Yeah, I mean,
Ruby has never
as-
been good.
as far as this episode goes, though, that was great, and of course, that struggle of like, do you the cult will kill anything, so do you shoot your own fucking dad to kill the thing you've been hunting for?
Right?
What was it? 23 years, I think, at this point.
Mm,
How long they were hunting this fucking demon?
I think it was
like-
24 years coming up.
And
Yeah.
then at the
24
end,
years.
Sean gets super pissed that they didn't shoot him.
Yeah.
Why didn't
And
you shoot him? Well,
I will also say I don't like the. Oh, I have mixed feelings about the way they end this episode and therefore the whole season,
Mm-hmm.
which was with that car crash, which was, I mean,
sucked.
I guess in the context of knowing where they're going with it in the
yes.
next
I
episode,
remember now. Yes, the
Yeah.
contract.
knowing what they do with it in season 2, it ends up being cool, but oof, because I saw this live. I saw this this whole season when it was new on television. I had to wait a long time after that, and I thought they were fucking dead.
Right.
You were like, oh, okay, that's the end. That's it.
Like
Just
that's
one
what a
season,
shitty
that's
fucking what a shitty way to. But no, not that it's like bad, because I know like they were setting up for the first episode of the next season, which is like they're all alive, but shit's going down, and that was a good episode. If yes, unfortunate shit happens, but of course we can deal with season 2 episodes when that happens. But this, man, yeah, I'd say around there or like at least
Yeah, I think I would have to think I agree with you, especially just the way it ended too. Like, yeah, it's like holy shit, they just got a car crash. They're most likely dead, or at least when they come back to the next season, not all of them are alive. Someone's dead.
Well, at least it feels like it. Dean went in a coma.
Like.
But
yes,
the fact that Sam used a Ouija board too. Really, Sam? Right. This is what you're resorting to?
Well, we will cross that bridge when we get to that. I assume that's up here, right? Oh yeah, do you have season 2 on this? Is this an option?
Yes, we do. We do have season 2, so we will do season 2 eventually. But
as far as this goes,
I think A for this one.
I'm comfortable with that.
Ben?
Yeah, A is good for me.
All right, so there we go, guys. We have it. So
yeah, don't worry about the very bottom row. Don't ever watch that episode. It was a complete waste of time. I think it was a waste of money too, and it had actually nothing to do with the series. So if you ever come across that episode, you just skip it because it has nothing to do with the series.
You can literally skip it, and you won't miss a thing.
If you don't believe me, ask Will and Kevin; they will agree.
Yeah, episode 15, you can totally skip. So here we have it, guys. The final ranking at the F tier. We have Avengers Season 1, obviously, Episode 15. Nothing in D rank. Wow, last week we've never put anything in D rank, guys.
Dude.
Yeah. That would be considered D rank.
Look, I knew this was a great fucking season. Series. And season of a great series. But, man, looking at that distribution, most of them are A rank. The second most are S rank. Then B rank. Look, that is.
We only have one episode below C.
We are averaging. Yeah, if we ignore that one stupid fucking. No one care about 15. That's the outlier. Everything else though, we're like averaging an A plus, A in between A and A, like that. What a fucking season! Wow.
All right, and before we end this, I think we should go down the line of Will. What was your favorite episode in season 1?
Well, first off, let's finish off the tiers first, and then we can go there.
Yep.
Just so everybody knows. So, after D tier is C tier, we have Bugs and the one with the Stratega, which is episode.
No, it was the Shrika. That's what it was called, Shrika.
Shrika, yes, that was episode 18. And then after that, we have the B tier list, which actually is all within the first 10 episodes.
Really? How
Yes.
about that?
We have because we have the Phantom Traveler, Skin, and Home. And Phantom Traveler is episode 4, Skin is episode 6, and Home is episode 9.
How about that?
And now here we go with the A tier. We have Wendigo. We have Dead in the Water. And then we also have, let's see. Faith. Yes, that's right. Faith was the next one. And then Route 666.
Yep.
Then we have Nightmare. And then we have Shadow.
That was Shadow. Yeah.
Shadow, yes. Then we have Hell House. And then we also have
Province, yeah.
Province. And then we have Salvation and Devil's Trap. So, and going down the list, it's Wendigo was the second episode, Dead in the Water was third, Faith was episode, let's see, 12. That's a big jump, actually. Holy crap.
Right.
And then we have episode 13, which is Route 66, Nightmare 14, Shadow is at 16, Hell House at 17, Province at 19, and then we have Salvation at 21 and Devil's Trap at 22. And with our S tiers, we have the pilot, episode 1. And then we have coming in at another S tier, episode 5, Bloody Mary. And then 2 episodes later, at episode 7, we have Hookman. And then 3 episodes later is Asylum, so that's number 10. and then 11 right after that, which is Scarecrow, and finally, and final S tier, Dead Man's Blood, episode 20.
Good shit.
But like Ben was saying, guys, what is our favorite episode out of the whole season 1?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ben, I'm guessing. By the way you were talking about it, yours is probably Route 666.
Our province.
Yeah, either of those two were really, really good. I'd have to go with Route 666. And then number 2 is Province. Yeah.
Gotcha. Kevin?
My number 1? Oh, man.
Scarecrow?
I'm going to say Yeah, I was going to say Scarecrow, and then probably number 2 is Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
You know,
and number 3, Hookman.
Yep.
I honestly have to agree with you, man. Like, those are just like 3 solid episodes.
Those were the staples. When I think of season 1, honestly, those 3 come to mind.
Yeah, no, exactly. Those 3 exactly come to mind.
And I would have put 3 as Asylum.
Asylum.
Nice.
Asylum,
That was great.
I would say that'd be like my 4th one.
I remember when because again, sorry, I keep saying this, but I watch all this stuff live. They advertised Asylum as its own special episode. They weren't just saying like, oh yeah, next on whatever. They had like special advertisements for that episode. Like calling it Supernatural Asylum, almost like it was its own like movie or something that was coming out. They like made a big deal out of it, and I'm like, oh shit, that was so exciting, and I missed it when it premiered. I had to watch it later.
That sucks.
Anyway, yeah, I know.
Anyways, guys, well, that is season 1 of Supernatural, and hopefully maybe soon season 2.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the episode. And we will be continuing this idea. Leave a like and a comment below, and I'll see you in the next. Bye.
Turn it on.